Good evening, everyone. I want to start with what we call a kungan. Japanese term is koan, but usually when these are thought of, they're thought of as these ancient Chinese stories. This comes from, it's a more modern story from Korea, which our tradition comes from, and my guess is this would have taken place somewhere in the 1920s. And it's titled, Right in Front of You. One day a student asked Zen Master Bon Soeng, where is the Buddha's Dharma? Right in front of you. The student replied, you say in front of you, but I cannot see it. You have eye, so you cannot see. Do you see? The student asked. Bon Soeng answered, if you make I, you cannot see. But if you make you, it is even more difficult to see. If I have no I, no you, then who is speaking? The student said. Instantly, the student was enlightened. This question that the kungan starts with, where is the Buddha's Dharma? That's the essential question of Zen. It's the essential question of life. But of course, Buddha's Dharma doesn't mean that much to people who aren't steeped in practice. So really, the student is asking, where is truth? Where can I find my way in this world? How do I know where I am, where I'm going, and what's most important? In a sense, all of those questions are mixed in to this question, where is the Buddha's Dharma? Dharma literally is a, I guess it comes from the Sanskrit. The word literally, in Chinese, the character for Dharma is water flowing. Things just as they are, water flowing. Sometimes we translate the word Dharma as truth. So, where is the Buddha's truth? Or where is truth? Bon Soeng replied, right in front of you. Case closed. Where is the truth? Right in front of you. The student doesn't understand. He says, you say right in front of you, but I don't see it. Bon Soeng says, you don't see it because you have I. I, not I, but I, me. You make I, you make me, you make mine, you make this concept of who you think you are. You see everything in this life through that conceptual framework. Therefore, you cannot see the truth which is right in front of you. My ideas, my opinions, my condition, my mood, my way of viewing the world colors my reality. In that coloring my reality, I'm shading truth. I'm missing truth. So the Buddha said, if you put away this I, the truth appears right in front of you. It's very simple. Not easy to do, but quite simple. Maybe the student understood a little bit. So then the student says, do you understand? Or he said, do you see it, Zen Master? This is a trap. If the Zen Master says, yes, I see it, he's contradicting himself because I can't see it. But he said an amazingly powerful sentence. He says, if you make I, you can't see. But if you make you, it's even more impossible to see. What this refers to is the fundamental split of reality that we all make. I'm here, you're there. that separation of the universe into parts creates our misperceptions. What the Buddha learned in his awakening was this whole universe is one thing. You can look at pieces, but if you think that piece is separate from the whole, you've lost it. So, if I make I, that's one concept. Now I make you, I've made two concepts. Concept after concept after concept after concept, and we're lost in a fog. So the student, once again, she stays with it. She says, no I, no you, then who is speaking? In that moment, she heard it. Do you need I to hear? Do you need you to hear? In that moment, she understood just hearing, just seeing, just smelling, just tasting, just touching, just this moment. Return to what we call before thinking mind. So how do you see clearly, smell clearly, taste clearly, touch clearly? That's the challenge of Zen practice. Not only do we say, how do you perceive truth? But then we ask one more question. How does truth function? How do we exist in this moment? How do we know what to do? How do we know who we are? In our Zen school, we talk about this in terms of, we call it a don't know mind. Sometimes we say a mind before thinking. Zen Master Bon Soeng would hold up his stick and he'd say, you see this stick? Your before thinking mind, my before thinking mind, the stick is very clear. But as soon as we see the stick, we go one step further. Is it a good stick or a bad stick? Is it finished well, or is it a crappy job? We start to create concepts and a schema from which to evaluate good and bad, right and wrong. The third patriarch, way back in the maybe 600s in China, said, the great way is not difficult for those who don't make good and bad. We're always evaluating, is it good, is it bad? Is it good for me, is it bad for me? Will it help me get what I want, or will it take away from what I want? So we have this very simple practice tool of keeping a don't know mind. Always and everywhere, wondering, what is this? Many of you have heard me say this over and over again. And you know, when I talk about great doubt, I'll often talk about it in terms of curiosity and wonder. To approach each moment with a kind of curiosity which lends you to really pay attention more closely. Excuse me. On first glance, I see something. What do I really see? What is it? Can we burst through our assumptions, beliefs, and ideas and actually have a moment of connection with what we're seeing? This curiosity and wonder is a tool. Yeah, it's a tool of Zen practice, but it's also a tool to use in our everyday life. Moment to moment, whatever situation we're in, to bring this curiosity and wonder to the moment. So I think Paul, when he introduced me, I think he said I was a psychotherapist. I don't remember for sure if he said it tonight, but I am. So I am going on, I'm taking a 3-day conference in couples therapy at the beginning of May. And this thick thing here is the brochure for it. And the other day I opened it up, and there's this workshop. Let's see if I can read it. It's titled, not surprisingly, Curiosity and Wonder. Curiosity is the path to wonder. Most workshops focus on processes therapists can learn to help couples remove the constraints to their relationships. Constraints to the relationship they want. In this workshop, participants will learn about wonder as the ultimate quality of a thriving relationship and discover techniques that will help intimate partners transition from judgment to curiosity and wonder. So I read this, I started to laugh. Oh, they're stealing my lines. But more importantly, it was a reflection of how something that you can talk about in a Zen or spiritual context is actually quite normalizing, quite regular, nothing special. But to do it changes your life. To move from judgment to wonder. We're all part of a community. We all know how we evaluate, have ideas about people in our communities. We are an idea-creating machine, constantly spitting out judgments, ideas, beliefs, and the problem is we believe them. It's not really that bad to have them. The problem is believing them and acting on them as if it's truth. Where is the truth? Right in front of you. But if you're clouded by your judgments, opinions, and beliefs, you're not seeing the truth. You're seeing everything through the lens of those beliefs, opinions, and judgments. And it's kind of a self-confirming process. You pick up on and accentuate what confirms your previously held belief. And it's one more piece of evidence that we gather to firm up those beliefs. So we get feedback that we think confirms our reality. But in fact, what's really happening is we're just seeing things through our preconceived ideas. This wouldn't be that important if it didn't create so much suffering in the world. It wouldn't be that important if the process of reifying our ideas and beliefs and assumptions and fantasies becomes the path to our own entrapment, our own suffering. And because we lay it on people around us, the suffering of the people around us. So by losing contact with truth, or maybe you could even say by losing contact with our own true nature, we perpetuate the suffering that exists in this world. And we keep chasing after some kind of peace, some kind of happiness, but because of our lack of curiosity and wonder and an ability to cut through the conceptual reality, we just keep creating more and more and more of what we don't want. So there's a lot of answers to this dilemma. One of them that we usually dwell on is come and sit in this room. Quiet down, bring your attention inward, and start to ask, what is this? What am I? What is truth? I can't tell you how many times as I work with people, whether it's in the Zen context or the psychotherapy context, where I'll hear a phrase like, I really don't know who I am. I don't understand why I do what I do. It even takes a little insight to recognize that. At some point, we recognize there's a kind of alienation from our own self, from our own true nature. And we're acting in ways that grow out of this conditioned response. So there's our formal practice that we do to work with this dilemma, to start to get some insight into who we are, how we operate, and how to see the truth which is right in front of us. Because it's not as if we never see it. We're just always losing it. To return to our true nature is not that difficult. It's never far away. But it's elusive if we keep putting our attention outside of ourselves, chasing after things, thinking those things will satisfy the problem. But what this workshop brought up for me was a confirmation of the sense that we can apply this curiosity and wonder to everything. Whatever it is you're struggling with in your life, whatever relationship or situation or unhappiness that you have, if you bring this curiosity and wonder to the situation, rather than believing your thoughts and feelings, bring this curiosity, bring this great doubt. Really? What is it? I seem to find myself underneath this baggage all the time. Rather than trying to force my way out, maybe I can look at it. Maybe I can wonder, where does it come from? Where does it go? What's the motivation? What is it that I'm chasing after? By raising these questions and actually looking, actually stepping a little bit out of the situation and wondering and being curious about the situation, there's so much that can open up. You can bring this great doubt, this wonder and curiosity to work, bring it home, bring it to the bank, bring it to the restaurant, bring it to the refrigerator, bring it to the bathroom. What am I doing right now? What am I holding? What's getting in the way? And by asking the question and letting go, we use this phrase, it's as if we're hitting the clear button on the calculator. Come back to zero. Let go of my anger. Let go of my desire. Let go of my neediness. Let go of what's unsatisfactory. And just experience this moment. Everybody can hear this sound. You don't need some special wisdom, some special technique. Just listen. Notice what comes next. Pay attention to what appears in front of you. By actively working with the situations and conditions of our lives, we awaken in the moment. By bringing this mindfulness and natural wonder and curiosity, things start to shift. Just briefly, I want to add two more pieces to this. The Zen teachers in China talked about three things that it takes to practice Zen. I've focused on this great doubt, this don't know mind, this curiosity and wonder. The next step is also quite important. They call it, sometimes it's translated as great effort, sometimes it's translated as great courage. Bring this wonder and curiosity right to the places that scare you. Bring this wonder and curiosity right into the moment where you don't feel like doing it. I don't want to is another trap. My teacher, Zen Master Bon Soeng, had a tagline. He'd say, almost every time he gave a Dharma speech, he'd say, try, try, try for 10,000 years non-stop. In ancient China, 10,000 was infinity. Non-stop, only try, only meet this moment. Bring this curiosity and wonder right here, right now. And the third thing they said is have great faith. Not great faith in some outside deity. Zen and Buddhism in general is not a practice that has much to do with a deity. Great faith is in your true nature. Great faith is in your great question. Great faith is in our great effort. If we do these things, our lives will transform. I'm not guaranteeing you enlightenment. I'm not guaranteeing you a sweet, easy, smooth life. But I do guarantee you, if you bring this curiosity and wonder to your life, and you try, you fall down, you get up. You fall down, you get up. And you do it, your life will transform. I said I don't promise you enlightenment, but that's also a mistake. Enlightenment is easy to get. Just listen, just look, just see. It's all around us. Just let go, and here we are. It's not some special place. It's not some special feeling. It's just being connected to what's happening right now. Find your place in the world and act. Learn from your experience and stay with it. Your life will transform. Zen isn't some esoteric practice that you need to go to a cave to practice. We have this cave right here, that's our practice hall. But we're always going out into the marketplace, into your family life, into your work life, into your play life and leisure life and fantasy life. Right now, what is it? Don't hold on to anything. Use your eyes, use your ears, use your nose, use your tongue, use your body, use your mind. It's all right in front of you. Just look.